Welcome everybody to Tiger Talks Wrestling. This is the first time I've tried this under a different page called StreamYard, as YouTube has gotten rid of Google Hangouts on air. We're going to see how this works for tonight's NXT Takeover Toronto 2 and SummerSlam prediction show. Now, I know, as you see right now, I'm currently alone here, and I do have a screen share here because we're going to pop up some things in just a moment. Just want to make sure I got everything. There we go. Bring me back into here. Hey, Nathan Wallace, welcome to the show. Glad you could make it. I'm going to kind of be clicking back and forth from a few different things here. We're going to see if we can get a couple people in here. And then, hey, Riley, good to see you. We'll go from there. Talk to two people, two guys that are planning on coming in when they get the chance to. We'll see what happens with that. This is quite interesting. Just getting a little more used to this new stream I'm using, since you can't use Hangouts on air anymore. Avery, welcome into the show. Hope that'd be a little different way than through the comment section, but that works too. All right. Let me get the hang of this. Share a little different window here.
Nobody's set them.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's which.
I should use my mind. Just a minute here, guys.
There's a receipt.
That's yours. That means that one's mine. I don't know if I got any forks with me or not, but I need forks. I'll come out and get one more. I got a chance. So I was busy. All right. I want to see if this is going to work the way I'm hoping it does. Okay. Now we're going to start with my predictions for NXT TakeOver. You guys in the comment section can join along if you'd like with what your predictions are. As you can see, the first match I'm gonna mention here. I do know we have at least one person, two people I think that are hoping to get in here eventually, and they'll give their predictions. I'll go back and get them later, but we'll start with, like I said, mine first. First match I'm going to talk about here is the triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship, as we got the current champion Velveteen Dream defending against Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Now, I'll touch on this a little bit more later. I think this is going to be a big night for a certain faction. If you don't know where I'm going with that, then you'll find out. I could see Velveteen Dream retaining the title here, but I could see him doing that, but I don't think that is what's going to happen. I don't see Pete Dunne getting another championship this quick, especially not the North American title. My prediction is that we'll see Roderick Strong start off perhaps the night. I don't know if this match will be first, but start off the Undisputed Era's evening filled with gold. So I've got Roderick Strong taking the W in this triple threat match. As Roddy's been on quite the roll. I know he lost to Pete Dunne last week on NXT, but I still got Roderick Strong picking up the victory. Then you got Candice LeRae going up against the new version of Io Shirai. Many people seem to like this new bad attitude from Io Shirai, and I guess you can see why. Interesting note here. I may be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Rocky Stickle says Dream retains. We'll see what happens. My prediction is that he'll lose, but all right. Let me check a couple things here. Yep. Got somebody who's trying to get in and having some issues getting in. So this is the first time I've used this StreamYard. Ethan Wallace says, got Candice LeRae to win this match. Interesting note here, as I was trying to bring up, is I believe this is Candice LeRae's first ever actual takeover match. So I'm expecting big things out of Candice in this match. However, I don't see Io Shirai losing again. I don't think she's lost the last two takeover shows to Shayna Baszler, and I think she's going to pick up a win here and gain some steam on this new character that she's portraying. So Io is my pick for this match. Avery mentions he's got Roderick winning the North American Championship as well. And you guys can leave predictions at any point throughout here as I'm going along, or even if you want to give predictions before I get through to every match, that's fine too. I'll read what I can. Next match we're going to go with is the NXT Tag Team Championship match. As you got the Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, or Red Dragon, as many of us know him as from the Ring of Honor days. No, they did give a fuck. Going up against the current tag team champions, the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Now, I'm sure some people would say that they think it's too early for the Street Profits to drop the tag team titles. But as I kind of talked about earlier, I think that Adam Cole's prophecy for 2019 in the Undisputed Era is going to come true on this night at NXT TakeOver Toronto. So I've got UE, the Undisputed Era, Fish and O'Reilly, walking out with the new NXT Tag Team titles. And then I could see perhaps an actual full call-up for the Street Profits to Monday Night Raw. I mean, they've been on Raw for the last several weeks anyways, so I could very easily see that happening. I mean, they could stick around NXT for a little while as well still, but who knows? We'll see what happens then. Yeah, I've got Fish and O'Reilly taking the tag titles. And then you got the Women's Championship match as Shayna Shayna Baszler defends against the HBIC, Mia Yim. And I know there's a lot of people that aren't huge fans of Shayna. I'm not that big of a fan of hers really either. She's had an outstanding couple of reigns as women's champion in NXT, in my opinion, though. But I honestly am rooting for her and hoping that Mia Yim is the one that finally takes the title off of her, and then I see something different in the women's championship division in NXT, because I'm honestly getting tired of seeing Shayna in the picture right now, and I'd rather see her go up to the main roster and see what she can do there. Nice one. Mr. Awesome says HBIC versus HNIC, black and white, book it. I think most people, if not everybody, would know that one. Nathan Wallace says, I picked Mia Yim to be the new NXT Women's Champion. That's what I've got too. Avery says, Fish and O'Reilly. I totally agree. Take the tag team titles. All right. You imagine Cam versus Mia, since you brought that up. Oh, I don't know if I can try to resend. Let's see. I'll try it. Oh, I think it's already copied in there. Okay. See if that works for you, Dustin. I know I don't have it down to where I wanted it yet. Aha! That brings us, of course, to the main event. We've got the biggest rematch, in my opinion, in NXT history. Excuse me, I'm eating a little dinner here, too. This time, going to be a little different, though, than last time. 2 out of 3 falls. Adam Cole defending against Johnny Gargano. Cole Gargano 3, yes, it is. We've seen throughout the other 2 matches, 4 falls, 2 falls each guy has picked up. We've seen Johnny make Adam tap twice in the first 2 out of 3 falls match. We've seen Adam Cole pin Johnny Gargano 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring twice as well throughout this feud. So, I'm figuring this match, just like the last one, is going to go down to the 3rd fall. We know one of these falls is going to be a wrestling match, straight up. That's what Adam Cole picked. And then we know another one that's picked by Johnny Gargano is going to be a street fight. The X factor here, though, is what exactly is going to be that 3rd fall. Will it be a steel cage match? What exactly will William Regal put in there? Who knows? But either way, I do agree with what Avery Hope, boss man there of VTW, says. Adam Cole, I got retaining the NXT title, and Undisputed Era, I think, is going to sweep Takeover Toronto, and it's going to be dripping in gold, as Adam Cole has prophesized by the end of the night. 2 out of 3 falls, a throwback to the golden age of wrestling. I would agree with that, Nathan. I mean, we've seen a lot of, really, over the last couple months, we've seen a lot of 2 out of 3 falls matches on Raw and SmackDown when they were doing that no wrestling during commercials bit. But those were, I'll say, stupid versions of 2 out of 3 falls matches, I guess you could say. Stupid reasons to do it, in my opinion. But this one, this is going to be huge. This 2 out of 3 falls match, if the last one was any indication, this one, I think, has the potential of stealing the entire weekend, period. And I wouldn't put it past these 2 men to do that. One thing I do want to bring up, though, no matter who wins this one, and like I said, I'm going with Adam Cole, is that there's a certain individual waiting in the wings who, from what I have seen, has been or very soon will be cleared to compete again. So, Goldie might not be staying around the shoulder or the waist of Adam Cole for very long. Just putting that one out there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen Tommaso Ciampa show up by the end of the show. I'm expecting a great show. If anybody else has any predictions for NXT TakeOver Toronto, feel free to put them in the comment section at any point in time. I'm going to move into my predictions for SummerSlam here in just a second, otherwise. All right. Not working. It says it's always fun when you're trying something new. You never know how exactly it's going to work. said, I'll be going back and forth here. As you can see, we're going to start off. I don't believe they, unless I missed it somewhere when I was at work today, they've really announced any of these matches for the kickoff show, so I'm not going to say anything specific that's going to be part of the kickoff show. I'm figuring the Cruiserweight title at least will be on there, and they'll probably have one or two other matches besides that on there. But the first match we're going to talk about for SummerSlam, as we kick into the SummerSlam version, is Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship against Natalya in Natalya's hometown, home country, if you will, in a submission match. Now, a submission match can go either way because both of these women have awesome finishing submission holds, but I honestly don't see Becky Lynch dropping the women's title here to Natalya. I got Becky retaining. I've heard rumors. I've read rumors. Could happen, but I don't know if it will. That Ronda Rousey perhaps could somehow get involved either in the match or after the match. But we'll see if that happens. Either way, I still got Becky Lynch retaining the Raw Women's title over Natty. And I'm just going to go through these as kind of quickish as I can. These are not in any specific order. They're just a website that I've got that I went to that's got the different matches. And the next match, as you see, is for the WWE Universal Championship. You got Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Give this just a second, see if anybody puts any comments for that Becky Lynch-Natalya submission match here. Avery says Becky retains as well. I like it. I like it. I do notice the comments are a little bit slower on here than on YouTube's page, but we only got 2 people watching now. Oh, that's not a bummer. Okay. So, as you can see, the next match that we've got is, as I said, the Universal Championship match. You got Brock Lesnar defending against Seth Rollins. I want to pick Seth Rollins to win this match. I really do. I want to see him win it. I just want Brock Lesnar away from the Universal title picture. I was hoping that's what would happen when he lost it at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. With Paul Heyman now being in charge for the most part of Monday Night Raw, I'm not going to go against Brock Lesnar here. I know Seth Rollins pretty much guaranteed victory on Raw Monday night. If he does win, I kind of hope that we get maybe a heel turn from Rollins or something different from Seth Rollins, because things just need to change for him. Like I said, I'd love to see Brock drop the title, but I don't think it's going to happen. I got Brock Lesnar retaining. And we'll talk about the SmackDown Women's Championship match. We got Bayley going one-on-one with her. I see Rocky there. It says Rollins. Avery says Brock's retaining as well. We got Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's title against her hand-picked opponent, Ember Moon. Now for this match, I'm excited to see this match, to be honest with you. We've never seen Bayley versus Ember Moon one-on-one in a decent match, at least. I don't think they've had a one-on-one match, period. I think these two are going to put on a very good match. I don't think it'll be the best women's match of the night, but it should be very entertaining and very good fight between these two. When it all comes down to it, I got to go with Bayley retaining because I don't see her losing the title this soon, and honestly, I don't see him putting the SmackDown Women's title on Ember Moon this soon either. Would I be upset, really, if Ember won it? No, not really. Ember is a great talent, and she deserves a women's title reign at some point. I just don't know that I think it's right now that she should get it. So therefore, I do have Bayley retaining. And we move into the WWE Championship match. Pretty much 10 years in the making. The Viper, the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, whatever you want to call him, Randy Orton, with the three most deadliest letters in sports entertainment, the RKO, going up against Kofi Kingston, the Power Positivity, for the WWE Championship. Before I get into my predictions on that, Mr. Awesome says Becky Lynch to be destroyed by Ronda afterwards. And then he's got the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and then he's got Bayley as well. So we got Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston, a feud that's gone back, like I said, about 10 years or so. When Randy kind of held Kofi down, called him stupid a bunch of times after a match. We all know the backstory for the most part of this feud. I think I mentioned this. I mentioned this before. I'll say it again. Kofi Kingston's had a decent run as champion, but I'm still not completely sold on it. I don't know what it is. It's just, it hasn't clicked with me like it has some other people, the storyline. His wins over Samoa Joe, he has wins over Dolph Ziggler, I know, and Daniel Bryan, and several others. But he needs to beat Randy Orton in a very good match. They need to have an awesome match here, in my opinion. And Randy Orton can help pretty much make Kofi Kingston's title reign, or he can completely destroy Kofi Kingston's title reign here by defeating him. But my prediction is Kofi Kingston will walk out of SummerSlam the same way he walked in as WWE Champion. All right. Give a minute, see if the comments, anybody said anything in the comment section. Otherwise, here we go. Then next match we're going to talk about is the WWE United States Championship match. You got Ricochet, the former champion, going one-on-one with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, who I'm sure will have the OC in his corner, or not far behind anyway. Man, I enjoy Ricochet so much. I think many people probably do as well. He's a great talent, and I could see him. I could easily, honestly, see him, Ricochet being him, pronouns here. I could see Ricochet perhaps being the face of WWE in the future, in my opinion. He's still a young guy, and the fans are really behind him right now. The WWE universe is, in my opinion. And I could just see, I know WWE Brass and Paul Heyman are really big on him right now as well. So I could see him going far in the company. But on this night at SummerSlam, I think he's going to come up a little short. I got AJ Styles taking the win and retaining the U.S. title because I don't see him dropping it this soon. Avery Hoke says Kofi Kingston retains. I heard a rumor Big E will turn at some point on New Day. I think I've seen that at one point as well. We'll see if that ever happens. I wouldn't be fully against that because Big E is an outstanding athlete and could easily do things on his own, in my opinion. But since we were having issues, I see certain RJS from BTW Wrestling now in the chat section says he'll go with AJ Styles for this match. As do I. Whether the OC, Dallas and Anderson, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, help him win or he wins by himself, because we all know AJ doesn't need the help. They'll be there, I'm sure, either way. AJ is still, in my opinion, going to pick up the victory. Yeah, I like that comment there that somebody put on this page that I'm looking at the SummerSlam pictures through. No automatic rematches these days. That's what they claim. But the rematches always find a way to keep coming. Now, here's one of the matches I think is going to be put on the pre-show because the Cruiserweight title never makes the main show. Once in the last year, I think they have. You got Oney Lorcan going up against Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship. I believe there's been no build to this. I mean, we just had a six-pack challenge, an amazing six-pack challenge, don't get me wrong, on 205 Live this past Tuesday night that Oney Lorcan was able to win. Avery Hook says AJ retains title as well. I agree. But this feud, these two guys have been known each other and competed against each other from what I've seen and heard for many years. This feud doesn't have much else behind it other than that. With Oney Lorcan just kind of being injected in there and Drew Gulak still in the early stages of his title reign, I don't think the Cruiserweight title is going to go anywhere. I think Gulak is going to win, whether or not it's by. I don't think it'll be by submission. I think he's going to hit that new Burning Hammer type move or whatever you want to call it, finisher that he's been using lately to pick up the Duke. Now here's the women's match. Avery Hope says he thinks Oney Lorcan's going to win. He's overdue for a title. Interesting point of view there. This here's the women's match that I think might be the biggest match of the three. Probably could steal the show. One thing I find interesting about this match is that I did see on Twitter yesterday, I believe it was, that Trish Stratus has announced it will be her final match ever. That's what she said. Which I think sucks because I would love to still see the match that we were supposed to get last year at Evolution and never got, Trish versus Alexa. And I would love, if Sasha ever came back, to see Sasha Banks versus Trish Stratus. Also love to see the besties, Trish and Lita, maybe take a run as tag team champions at some point, but it's whatever at this point. You got the Queen, Charlotte Flair, versus the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, either way, in this match. I really want to see Trish Stratus win this match, especially when she's in Canada. Her retirement match she won in Canada. But since she says this is her final match, I think Trish will do what pretty much everybody does in their last match. I believe she's going to go down in a blaze of glory, so as to speak. And Charlotte Flair will walk out with the bragging rights as the Queen of Queens, so as to put it. Like I said, I prefer to see Trish win, but my pick is going to go with Charlotte Flair to take the victory. Here's one for you. You got Finn Balor, just the extraordinary man who does extraordinary things, not the Demon King, going one-on-one with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Now, who hasn't been impressed by the Fiend? Or Bray Wyatt, for that matter, with this Firefly Funhouse since he's debuted as the new version of Bray Wyatt. I don't think anybody hasn't been. So there's a couple things here. One, this is the Fiend's first match. And two, from what I've heard, Finn Balor's taking time off after SummerSlam for a month or two. So I've definitely got Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, winning this match. Because like I said, I can't see him losing in his first match. It would be terrible if he did, to be honest with you. And two, why would Balor need the win if he's going to go away for a couple months? All right. Mr. Awesome says Trish because she should be known as one of the greatest ever over Charlotte. I agree with that. I don't like how they were kind of making the point of how Charlotte's got more title wins than Trish does, which, yeah, she does. But it's two different eras, for one thing. Back when Trish was wrestling, there was only one women's title. There wasn't two. There wasn't enough women on the roster to have two. And in my opinion, Trish will go down, to me, as always, the greatest women's wrestler in WWE history. But that's my opinion. And Mr. Awesome also says the Fiend, yowie wowie, right? If anybody else wants to try and get in here, I have a feeling, since I'm having issues with RJS trying to get in here, I might have to send an email. I know Dustin Reagan was trying to as well. I don't think he was able to get in because I'm using something different here. I might just have to send emails to get people to join in now. I'm not sure exactly. I'll try to figure out either this one or there was a couple more different streams that I can use, different links, websites rather, that I can use to try and get people on here, since Hangouts on air is no longer an option in Google, in YouTube rather. Avery Hoke said Bray Wyatt wins match as well. Mr. Awesome says Flair already got to main event Mania. That's true. She doesn't need more of the rub. I agree. I totally agree. But I just have that feeling, like I said, Trish says this is her last match, and pretty much all the legends, everybody that you see when they go out, they take that L to try to elevate somebody else. And again, like you said, Mr. Awesome, Charlotte doesn't need the push. She doesn't need the rub, whatever you want to call it. But I just have a feeling that's what they're going to do. All right. Again, Finn Balor, I can't see winning that in any way, shape, or form. The only interesting thing there is, will it actually be DMs anyway in most cases? Well, I'll talk to other people about things after the show. I just want to try and figure out how I can get people on to different things we'll try out. Finn Balor, the only interesting thing for him wise is, will it be just Finn, or will it be the Demon that does come out, and will the Demon lose for the first time ever on WWE main programming? I'm hoping not, because I don't want to see the Demon. I know there's a lot of people I've seen on Twitter and social media saying that the Demon should lose a match. I honestly don't think it's time for him to lose a match, but that's my opinion. Avery says Charlotte will 100% win the match. I don't know about 100%, but I just think that knowing WWE and knowing how much they love Charlotte, that they'll probably give her the match. Give her the win. Now, I'm really looking forward to this match. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. If KO loses, he will quit WWE. Now, the reason I'm looking forward to this match, I know it's not going to be a 5-star match by any means, shape, or form, because no offense to Shane, but his matches aren't always the greatest, and he's nowhere near what he has. Everybody call him, and thank God Kevin Owens stopped Hamilton from doing his long shtick on SmackDown, and hopefully he'll do it again at SummerSlam. Shane is nowhere near the best in the world. Never will be, never has been. Don't care what they want to say storyline-wise. Now, out of this, I've got Kevin Owens winning. No questions about it. KO has to win here. And from what I've read, supposedly, this could lead to Shane McMahon going off-screen as a character for a while. Now, I'm kind of a little fluxed on that because I love seeing Shane on TV. I've just been a little irritated with how much TV time he's been getting. Back when he was the SmackDown commissioner, he'd get one or two different chances, segments, or promos, if you will. And that was a decent amount of time of seeing Shane on the show. If they could cut back to that, I'd be fine with seeing Shane more on, still on SmackDown, not more of, because I don't want to see more of him. But I got KO winning either way. Whether or not that's by himself or he has help. I seen somebody on social media said maybe Elias and Drew McIntyre will get involved in the match, and that way KO will have help from Cedric Alexander and Chad Gable. I'd be fine with that as long as KO just gets a win. That's all I care. No Mr. Awesome. No Shane McMahon winning. Don't want to see KO go anywheres. I know it's all part of a storyline, and if he loses, he won't actually really quit, but I don't want to see Shane beat Kevin Owens. He's beaten enough people, big names. He doesn't need to beat KO again. Okay, so this match is, in my opinion, going to be the shortest match of the night. Avery Hope says Kevin Owens wins. I can't see WWE letting Kevin go. He's not going to go anywhere. I'm sure he's got a lengthy contract with WWE still. Either way, but as I said, this is going to be the shortest match of the night. You got Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. We all know this is just so Goldberg can get that bad taste out of his mouth from what happened in Saudi Arabia when he and Undertaker went against each other. Goldberg's going to get the squash victory. Spear jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm calling. There, RJS. Mr. Austin says KO can go back to NXT to drop his friend Adam Cole. Yeah, he could. Speaking of NXT, I don't think they've confirmed anything yet, but I have seen rumors that NXT in the near future could be moving from WWE Network, whether or not it'll be fully off of WWE Network, to FS1, and will be a 2-hour show going from 8 to... Mr. Awesome, are you serious? You got Ziggler. FS1 and being 2-hour show from 8 to 10, and that they might have more of the main roster superstars get involved with it. What I've seen one thing of today was that Vince McMahon might get a little more involved with it if it does move to FS1. So I hope that's not true and Triple H stays in charge, but we'll see. Avery says 2-move match, Spear and Jackhammer, Goldberg wins. That's pretty much what I'm figuring it'll happen. I don't think Ziggler is going to win with no super kick. Mr. Awesome, you can keep your pick, and that's on you. We'll see what happens. Could Ziggler use the win? Honestly, yes. Will he get it? No. Oh, that's all the matches they've got listed on there, huh? If I've missed super kick in the middle of that spear, that's what you think, huh? Yeah, it could happen. Let me double check here. I don't think there's any other matches that I missed from SummerSlam. That was all that was on there. Go to the SummerSlam actually Wikipedia page. If there's any other matches that get added eventually, then they do, but that's 10 matches as of right now. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yep, that's all the matches they've got right now. Be interesting to see what matches they'll have on the kickoff show, what matches they might add to SummerSlam. I'm honestly kind of ticked off like other people that, we might have one person in here. See if we can get you added in.
This thing working?
Everybody, Dustin Reagan, welcome to the show.
I finally got in here. Dadgum.
Yeah, it's something new. I didn't know what would take or what wouldn't take to get people in here. So apparently you figured out the way to get in here.
That link finally worked.
Good. All right.
Am I the only one in here or what?
You are the only one in here at the moment.
Okay.
Because we had RJS from BTW was trying to get in, and he was having issues getting the link to work as well. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, so what might help you is you press copy link, and you got to go to the internet, paste it on the browser, and it will take you right to it.
Good to know. Like I said, it was the first time using this, so I had no clue how anybody else can use it to get in or anything else. So
I don't even know what this is.
it's called StreamYard.com. I just happened to come along it when I asked a question on YouTube what you could use to do since I got rid of Google Hangouts. Seen somebody had asked what you can use instead, and this was one of the pages they had. So.
I wonder why they got rid of the Hangout.
It's all part of their upgrading crap on there. I don't know why exactly they did, but
Dang.
YouTube's upgrading everything. But they got a few different sites like this that you can use in place of Hangouts on here.
I got you. So are we live right now? Or...
We are live right now.
Okay, well.
And we're going to go, I'm going to switch this screen over here. You're probably only seeing part of me on that screen, I'm sure.
There we go. That looks a lot better.
Does it? Well, it's going to go away again for a minute.
That's fine.
Or two.
Well, since we're waiting, can I make a quick plug real quick?
Go for it.
All right. So, coming up here soon, I will be launching a new page with me and a friend of mine that lives with me. And on this page, we'll be doing everything from gameplays, mainly going to be him. And I will be doing a weekly podcast. And this podcast will be talking about with sports, because I'm a big sports guy. It's going to be pro wrestling, politics, anything and everything. So just keeping a lookout for that. And that's about it. And just keep on my Twitter, and I will direct you on everything once we get that up and running.
Nice.
Right now, I'm waiting on all the equipment to come. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So Tony, keep your DMs open. I will be needing a podcast guest. So.
Well, there you go. Something to look forward to. And I've been working on trying to get a game show put together, so we'll see what happens with that, if that ever happens.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this channel. It's going to be a kind of a mixture of rock culture. It's kind of how they do things.
Okay.
Just not as much on pro wrestling focus. Like, I'm going to still talk about pro wrestling and stuff, but
right.
I'm going to do a lot of sports, and because a lot of sports fans or wrestling fans are honestly kind of the same. There's a lot of both. So I'm going to try to get the audience that likes that and likes gaming. I'm expecting big things with this. So I got a couple guests already lined up, and you will know more about it once I can officially launch the details on it. Because right now it's nothing set in stone. So
gotcha.
Got a couple former college players. I got one current NFL player lined up. So we're just gonna play it by ear and hope for the best.
Nice. Should be interesting to see. So, you much of an NXT watcher, or are you more so that or WWE wise prediction?
I'm actually more of an NXT and AEW watcher. I follow the storylines with the main show, but I haven't sat down and watched the full main show.
Gotcha. Well, then, for that matter, since we start off with it anyways, you can see there the first match that we got brought up for TakeOver Toronto. It's the triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. Roderick Strong, Pete Dunne, and Velveteen Dream.
I'm calling it now. This will be the show stealer.
I can go with that too, yeah.
And I'm gonna predict that Roderick Strong takes this home. I think it's gonna be some interference somewhere down the line in this match. And I'm gonna predict Roderick Strong takes this title.
All right. Yep, I got Roddy taking it too. So.
Well, great minds think alike there, Tom.
Yeah, maybe. And we'll move into Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai.
All right, so this one I haven't really focused on much, but if I'm not mistaken, Io Shirai just turned heel, right?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Because she's kind of got that kind of weird gothic thing going on with
pretty much
now. Well, since they just turned her heel, I see no reason and no way that they can let her lose.
Right.
so quickly. But I also see them not wanting Candace to look bad. So I look for this to be some kind of a draw type of deal happen.
That could happen, I suppose. I just figure, as mentioned, Io just turned heel, so I got Io picking up the win. Although it is Candace's first time on Takeover too in a match.
Right. So
So
I don't see I see this being more of a match that builds to a later event.
yeah, I can see that.
Because right now both of them girls right there are pretty much owning the division besides the champion. And I
Yeah,
don't know why Blazer. But my brain just went completely dead.
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler. There you go.
Yeah,
Other than her, them were really the only two that's keeping this thing going right now because they're still trying to rebuild. So I see this ending in some kind of weird, crazy way.
yeah, yeah. All right. Move on from that to another Undisputed Era match. You got Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish going against the Street Profits for the tag titles.
With this, I look for the Undisputed Era here to win this one. I think the Street Profits, but since they're already all on the main show, I look for them to take them straight up there. So I look for Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly to take this home.
That's my thinking as well, is that they've been on Raw the last several weeks anyways, so
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. I think they're gonna do, and I think they're gonna ride with this Undisputed Era with all the championship.
yep. My opinion too.
So I'm gonna pick Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly on this one. Wouldn't shock me if there's some interference on this one either.
Right. Yeah, you can't go wrong having Red Dragon as the tag team champions, so. All right. Mentioned earlier, you got Shayna Baszler defending the NXT Women's title against Mia Yim.
While I like Mia,
Yeah.
I just don't think she's the one to take the belt from Shayna. So I'm gonna go with Shayna, and to be honest with you, at first, how I did not think she would make it, me and Shayna Baszler, she is honestly the only legit badass that NXT has right now, in my opinion. That has been that she doesn't take her crap as a joke. She doesn't take her stuff as like when she comes down the ring, you can tell she looks like she's actually going to a fight and not
Right.
a entertainment. And with that, I don't think Ian would be the right one to take it away from her. So I'm gonna go Shayna.
Okay. As I went the opposite direction, I did go with Mia Yim. I just want to see the title. Honestly, want to see the title off of Shayna. She's had her 2 reigns over the last couple of years and has dominated this division. I think it's time for her to get that old boot up to the main roster as well. So, I mean, I know.
I also agree with that, but I don't see her going up until and if they can get Ronda Rousey back. I think that's kind of what they're waiting on with that, because I see that being kind of like a gang takeover. I can see them doing a Shield gimmick type thing with Ronda, and they call it what, the four horsewoman.
Yep. 4 Horsewomen MMA.
Yeah, I look for that to come into play sometime down the line. It could be if Ian wins, you possibly could see that at SummerSlam. That'd be a perfect time to debut it. So we could be on to something, Tony. We could be on to something.
I mean, there has been rumors that Ronda could be in Toronto for SummerSlam.
And what better way to debut it than to brutally attack Trish Stratus?
I don't know about that, but I think there'd be a different person they'd probably attack before Trish.
I can see it being Trish and Charlotte leading up to Trish, Charlotte, Bailey, and Becky against the 4 horsewomen, because you know that with whatever's going on with Sasha Banks, no one knows at this point with that. So I can see them trying to get Trish into WrestleMania with this, possibly in the Royal Rumble. But
although Trish does say this is her last match, at least that's what she posted on Twitter yesterday. But
yeah, Shawn Michaels also retired at WrestleMania against The Undertaker, and he did now he's bald and came back. So never say never in pro wrestling.
That's true. We'll see what happens with that. I know there's not a whole lot of women that really have been given an opportunity to show.
You kind of just got me interested in this, and now I'm kind of hoping what we're talking about happens.
Right. I don't see who else could take the title off of Shannon Baszler, because the only other woman really in NXT that's been pushed, so as to speak, is Bianca Belair, and she's already had her chances. And I don't want to
the only one I know is, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a report where Tessa Blanchard's contract's up in a couple years with Impact. I think the next couple months. So I could see them trying to rate that out to see them get Tessa.
Oh, it could be.
She could be the only. She's honestly the only legit woman right now out there that I can see taking it.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, that brings us to the main event of NXT Takeover Toronto. Yeah, Cole Gargano 3, the second 2 out of 3 falls match for that NXT Championship.
I want to say Adam Cole.
And
the reason why is it's got to be time for Johnny to go up to the main roster. It's got to be. There ain't much more that the man can do in NXT.
I agree.
And it's going to be bittersweet with that. But like I said, with all the stars NXT signing, all the new faces that's coming in,
they don't really need.
I don't see what more Johnny can do.
Right.
So I say Adam, and I say this will be Johnny's swan song.
I can see that. I think it'll go down to that third fall, which we don't know what that fall will be yet, because William Regal hasn't announced it, from what I've seen. I'm thinking probably like a cage match or something like that, but we'll see what happens. And Adam, I do have also taking the win. Now, another thing I did see online, though, is a certain somebody is close to or has been cleared to compete again. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a little appearance from a former champion, Tommaso Ciampa, at some point during or after the match as well.
Oh, has he? I haven't seen that report.
I did see that.
Oh, well, that just kind of. I don't know. They can't do a Tommaso Johnny again, as much as them good matches they are.
Right. No, I'm thinking.
I could see more of a DIY versus the Undisputed Era one. I can't anything with that.
Yeah. I can see that. That'd be an interesting way to go about things. But yeah, I see Tommaso Ciampa returning and probably being the next opponent for Adam after Toronto. Anyway.
Well, what if William Regal makes a triple threat match in that final fall?
Ooh, that could be interesting too. Like I said, I know he's either close to or has been cleared from what I've read. But.
So screw it. I'm gonna say Tommaso Ciampa walks out as champion.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it right now. Triple threat. Tommaso Ciampa walks out as champion.
Fair. Interesting choice for that. But yeah, I'll still go with Adam.
All right.
I don't have the pictures up here now, but we'll just go through those real quick. I'll just mention each one of these SummerSlam matches They've got 10 matches currently. They haven't announced what's going to be on the kickoff show. The kickoff show is 2 hours again. So it'll be starting at 5. So they
And
haven't
I just want to make one clear here. WWE, again, they are way better at this than me or you. So with that being said, take what I'm about to say lighthearted, but how in the Sam Blue hell can you not have Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns on this show?
right? I'd agree with that. I wouldn't be surprised to see them on there in some way, shape, or form, but how they can't have it.
How can you not have the match you're
Announced ahead of time.
obviously trying to build towards, the SummerSlam, not be on your show going in to the pay-per-view?
Right? I know, it's crazy. It doesn't help any, I'm sure, when the last 2 weeks in a row, Vince McMahon had showed up at the SmackDown tapings and tore up the scripts and rewrote everything the last half hour before the show starts or something like that, too.
Yeah, I heard that. And now Eric Bischoff is not there yet, correct?
He has just started within the last couple weeks, but he's not, from what I've read, he's not taking full charge, I guess you could say, of this as Paul Heyman has of Raw.
Right. They're waiting to the Fox deal for him,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. The main thing that Eric Bischoff was brought in, from what I've read, is to kind of talk with the people in Fox to get things situated for that. Because he's more so knowing of the TV stuff and getting things situated there.
And to me, it just needs more of a way to do something with AEW's TNT deal, because obviously Eric Bischoff is way more experienced dealing with TNT than he does Fox.
Sure, that's true.
So I don't necessarily buy that. So I mean, Vince is also in talks with Fight TV to get their promotion, and that's the only thing that, besides BR Live, that AEW does the pay-per-views with. So,
true.
In typical WWE fashion, if they can't beat you, they're gonna buy you. So,
yeah, it's nothing new. Vince has all the money, so
yeah,
he'll do whatever he can. Like I said, I think I've seen rumors that possibly could see Buddy Murphy and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam as well. But
oh yeah, everyone wants to see that match.
I wouldn't mind seeing Buddy Murphy get a chance, but
get Buddy Murphy get squashed in 5 minutes. Yeah, we all know
about it too is the only problem. All right. So now, speaking of the actual card, I'm sure Roman will be involved in SummerSlam somehow, whether it's in a match or whatever. But first match, I'll get your prediction on here real quick. The Cruiserweight title match that I'm sure is going to be on the kickoff show, because it's always on the kickoff show. Oney Lorcan's going against Drew Gulak for the Gulak's Cruiserweight title.
Well, on the matches that they don't care about, I'm just going to strictly just say who I think will win. I think Drew Gulak will win.
Yeah.
Ain't no sense of us going over it if they don't care about it either. So I'm going to say Drew Gulak.
Yep. I got Gulak retaining too. I mean, they just had a 6-pack challenge this past Tuesday to determine who would face Gulak at SummerSlam. So
yeah, so also they put a lot of thought into Oney Lorcan. So
yeah. I'm going out of order from what I did earlier, but that's okay. Let's go with Finn Balor and the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
If the Fiend does not win easily, I am going to turn off SummerSlam, cancel the network, delete the network, and never tune into it ever again. Period. Point blank, period.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with Bray Wyatt winning the Fiend, but whether or not it'll be a quick match, we'll see.
It don't gotta be a quick, because Finn Balor's a star.
Right.
But there's no way you can have the Fiend lose its first match.
I agree.
No way.
No.
whether it's quick or whether it's a long drug out match or whether the demon shows up, I don't care. The Fiend has to win.
I agree, especially when, from what I've read online as well, Finn Balor's taken an absence after SummerSlam for a couple months. So,
Yeah, so this is the perfect time. Do it now. Have the Fiend absolutely destroy Finn Balor. He's the one that puts him out. Finn Balor comes back for WrestleMania or whatever he's supposed to come back to as the demon. There's your WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And the Fiend needs to be champion at Royal Rumble. Period.
There you go. Let's jump into about the SmackDown Women's Title match. You got Bayley defending against her hand-picked opponent, Ember Moon.
I'm gonna go Ember.
Really?
I'm gonna go Ember, and I'm gonna predict Sasha Banks comes back and turns on Bayley.
It's an interesting choice.
Could be completely wrong, but
Hey, it could happen though too. I mean, it wouldn't be completely out of Sasha's character to do something like that. So
no. And I know they've been wanting to have that WrestleMania match, and to me, that's the best way to start. Even though I know we're a good ways away, but the best builds are the long builds, as long as they don't make it every single night.
Right.
So to me, I think you start it now, you drag it out to the Rumble, and you drag it out even further than the Rumble, and you finally have them two lock horns at WrestleMania. That's what I think you need to do.
That'd be interesting. We know Sasha and Bayley, when given the opportunity to, can easily tear the house down too. So
Easily. And I think that match, if they can get them two in a heated rival, that's a good match. Don't need the belt for it. So you can put that belt match on other unused talent that help them out.
Right.
With some hype. And I think that's your best way of building them two characters.
Yeah. Can't disagree with that. With that section, I'll disagree with who I think's going to win. Because I think Bayley's going to walk out with the title. But if she doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised if Sasha did cost her the match somehow.
That scenario there is the only way Bayley can lose the title to Ember.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier, I'd like to see Ember as a women's champion, whether it be SmackDown or Raw at some point. But I just don't know if now's the right time for it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it coming from the same time. As bad as she's been booked when she debuted.
Yeah.
At least right now she has a little bit of buzz going around her name.
Sure.
So if you're going to get her going, beating Bayley, one of your top 4 women stars, that's really the only way you can get that going.
Yeah. I mean, she's really, if you want to talk about it, Ember's kind of had the bad luck, so like to speak, since NXT when they wouldn't give her the win over Asuka. So
yeah, because if I'm WWE and I'm in charge, I'm making Ember win, and I'm setting up Ember and Alexis Bliss at the Royal Rumble. That's what I would be doing.
That would be interesting. That's for sure. Let's go into the Raw version of the women's title match. We got Natalya versus the women's champ Becky Lynch in a submissions match.
Well, since they started doing this Becky and Seth relationship angle, Becky's kind of lost some steam.
She has, unfortunately.
I'm going to have to go Becky, even though I kind of wish Natalya would, it being in her hometown. Right. And it ain't like it's not unlike WWE to put the title on someone because it's their hometown.
True.
No, screw it. I'm backing up my NXT opinion here. Natalya wins with the 4 horsewomen debuting in this match here.
That's what I was thinking. If they debuted at all, it'd be attacking Becky. since Becky's the one that beat Ronda.
It's either gonna it would either make sense with Becky and or Charlotte and Trish, and honestly, it could be both.
It could be.
So I'm gonna say do we know when this match is going on? Is this match going on before Trish and Charlotte?
I have no idea. I would imagine it probably is. Trish and Charlotte, I think, will probably be close to the main.
So I'm gonna go by how they did WrestleMania with Sting. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this match is actually after Trish and Charlotte, and I'm gonna say this match is where Ronda Rousey and all four of the horsewomen come out and attack Becky. So I'm gonna say Becky retains by DQ.
That'd be interesting as a submission match, but I suppose it could happen.
I'm putting a lot of aspects in this, so
Yeah.
I got some shenanigans going on in my predictions.
Right. That's what let's jump into a match that was just made this past Monday night. As we thought originally it was going to be Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, but we get Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg instead.
Goldberg in 30 seconds.
I agree.
Gonna be a ding, a spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Goldberg rides off in the sunset, and we'll probably see him at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna be the last we'll see of him because I've read that Paul Heyman's a big fan of Goldberg's and want to use him kind of in a Bruno Sammartino type aspect. So
yeah, so especially after that predicament in Saudi Arabia with Goldberg and Taker, I don't see this match lasting long.
No.
I see Dolph going out there selling his ass off and getting buried. So I'm gonna go Goldberg in 30 seconds.
Right. Yeah, that's what I figured too. It's gonna be 2 moves and over, pretty much. Got Goldberg as well. Let's go with KO, Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. If Shane wins, KO has to quit WWE.
I'm gonna go Shane.
Oh, you're going with Shane, huh?
Yeah, they'll do some kind of shenanigans, and yeah, I'm gonna say Shane wins, and then probably when's the Fox still take place? You know, I don't forgot the date.
October. I don't remember the exact date. October 2nd or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna say Shane. You'll see KO come back when that happens, and I wouldn't be shocked if you see some kind of Undertaker happen here.
October 4th. That would be the date.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Shane wins.
Okay. I think I expect Elias and Drew McIntyre to get involved, but I think a couple other guys probably will help out KO and KO will get the win. But we'll see. Because Drew's got his issues with Cedric Alexander, as you all know. And Elias just started a little something with Chad Gable as well. So, but I could see Shane winning too. So,
yeah, I can say, son of the guy who owns the company. So I can see, Shane winning this one. That's why I'm gonna stick with Shane.
Yeah, I'm still gonna pick KO because I just want to see Shane go away a little bit.
I'm right there with you. Trust me.
Let's move into the United States Championship match: Ricochet versus AJ.
This is gonna be the show silver match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go AJ simply just because they just reformed the OC and the club, now known as the OC. I don't see him losing this soon.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm gonna go AJ.
I know that WWE's higher ups and Paul Heyman are all pretty high on Ricochet, so I can see him going a long ways and getting far in WWE. But
Yeah,
this won't be
I
right.
believe AJ will win this, and I don't think this will be the last time we'll see this match.
I'd
So
be okay with it.
I'm gonna say AJ wins, and my hope and my dream would be some way, somehow, it leads to a triple threat match with AJ, Ricochet, and Samoa Joe.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
That would be my hope for the Royal Rumble.
Nice. Okay. Mentioned it earlier. You got Trish and Charlotte Flair.
I want to say in typical WWE fashion, DQ with the Four Horsewomen without Ronda debut and take out both of them.
Okay. I think my personal pick was Charlotte Flair. I just think that Charlotte is pretty much Vince's girl, and
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if someone's gonna win this match, it's got to be Charlotte.
unfortunately,
But I'm just gonna pick. I'm gonna say the Four Horsewomen debut in this, and you'll see a Charlotte face turn soon.
it could be definitely different to see. We'll see. All right. Be nice to see if any of those actually happen. If we see the Four Horsewomen,
If they do, I'm gonna put on Twitter that you heard it here first, and that I called this.
Yep. Dustin was like Nostradamus. Huh.
But I got a feeling Dave Meltzer's source here is completely wrong. But you know what? You never know till you try.
Right? True. All right. Let's go into the WWE Championship match. 10 years in the making. Hey, we got VTW Wrestling. And 10 years in the making as Randy Orton goes against Kofi Kingston, kind of a turn of events from 10 years ago.
As much as I want to say my boy, my father, I want to go Kofi because I believe Randy has to go out on surgery soon. I think he's having neck issues, if I'm not by what I read. So I believe Kofi will take this one and unfortunately head off the champion because since he got the belt from Daniel Bryan, it's been kind of a crap storm.
True. I mentioned earlier, I'll say it again. In my opinion, I know Kofi's had some big matches and has won a lot of matches since he won the title, but his title reign to me just isn't, it's not all that impressive. So he could use this victory over Randy Orton to kind of, I guess, in a way, maybe a little bit more cement this title reign.
Right. And I remember watching him beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I think that was the wrong move. I understand why they did it because he was so hot.
Right.
But to me, Kofi is the best story when it comes to someone that shouldn't be where he's at and is always so close but can never grab it. And that's what I think should have happened with him. But I can also see why they did it.
I agree with that. I mean, if you think about it, I don't think you'll think of Kofi's title reign anywhere near the same as Jinder Mahal's title reign from a couple of years ago, but still, Kofi's title reign just hasn't been that memorable to me otherwise.
No, it hasn't, but a lot better than Jinder's. But I see Kofi winning this, and I see Aleister Black coming in the picture soon and taking it from him.
Oh, I never thought of that. Speaking of, I was going to mention that around the time you popped in, such a travesty that Aleister Black and Sami Zayn got taken off of SummerSlam, in my opinion. Because that match, they had a pretty good match on SmackDown, but if they would give them more time and been put on SummerSlam, I think they would have had Probably could have stole the show, honestly.
And that's why I think the 4 Horsewomen are going to debut here, because I think that's where all the time's going into. So it's either going to be that, or there's going to be some kind of thing happen with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan that's going to take up the 2 match times.
Yeah.
So it'll be one of them, and unfortunately, WWE's got a network where they can stream everything for as long as they want, and they can have 18-hour WrestleManias, but they can't put a match on the card. So,
Right.
Go figure.
Exactly. All right. That leaves just one match. Match that probably will be the main event, but who knows? Of course, the Universal Championship match. Seth Rollins going up against Brock Lesnar.
Brock.
Plain and simple.
I mean, it's like the way they booked him. It's like Alabama in college football. You can beat them once, but you ain't beat them twice.
Right?
So, plus all the injuries Seth's had, storyline wise, and I think if you let an injured Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar, his value goes away.
Yeah.
And if Seth wins the match, doesn't really do much for him. If Brock loses the match, it kind of devalues him. And if Seth was to lose it, then it really doesn't change nothing on him. So I think the only way you got is to go with Brock.
I agree with that. The only way I can see Seth winning is somehow we see a heel turn from him, because honestly, I really enjoy the character he's got right now in some aspects, but Seth Rollins as a heel is
That's so
better
much
than the face.
better. It's just if he's going to turn heel, it's not going to be against Brock, but the night after, I could see it.
Yeah.
And I could also see Seth turning out to be the one attacking Roman.
Oh. That could be an interesting way to go too.
I can see that being the way how they turn him heel, and maybe that's where they're going, and that's why the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match got scrapped. I don't know. I'm trying to think of ways they can make this thing make sense, but at the same time, I think they've written themselves in corners and they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, that's, in my opinion, it's just mainly Vince needs to step down, honestly. But
I agree. I think
One of the big
Triple H, when he takes it over, you're going to see a major haul in how good the product's going to be, in-ring rise and storyline rise.
Yeah.
Just by NXT, it seems like he's got a better grip on what fans want nowadays. And I'm telling you, the old school still works. You have a rival, and you make a storyline and use emotion. Look at the Dustin Rhodes and the Cody match.
Right.
At AEW. That's probably the best match I've seen in years. Years. And in my lifetime, that's probably honestly the best match ever. Was maybe you can argue. I would say the first Shawn Michaels and Undertaker match probably the best match I've ever seen. But definitely the past couple years, that one hands down the best. So I want to say Brock, and I want to say that you won't see a change until Triple H fully takes over, if he even is the one to take it over.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be anytime soon, unfortunately, but something's got to change, in my opinion.
Tony, I hate to have to ditch on you so quick, but I'm gonna have to get on off of here and take care of some work problems here.
All right, you do that then. Thanks for coming in.
All right, no problem, dude. And appreciate you having me on. It's been a while.
It has been. Good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. And all the fans out there, hope you take care. And who knows, you may send me down the line.
All right.
All right, bro.
See ya. All right. Well, we're going to close this up here soon. I got informed RJS was able to pop in for about 2 seconds and then it crashed on him. So, fortunately, we couldn't get him in here quite yet. I'll give him a minute or two. So yeah, that's interesting. Thought it'd be nice when Dustin messaged me on Twitter about coming on here. I was like, man, haven't talked to you in a long time, so I'd be happy to have you come in. So I was happy to have him on here for a few minutes and get his predictions. I think NXT Takeover Toronto and SummerSlam are going to be some good shows, couple good shows this weekend. I expect Takeover to be the better of the two because Takeovers are always better than the main roster shows, it seems like. But as far as everything else goes, I kind of have been thinking about doing prediction shows for AEW pay-per-views, but I gotta know that people would be interested in those too. I'm not sure if viewers on this channel actually pay that close of attention to AEW. If they do, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you want me to start doing AEW prediction shows with All Out, if not, then that's fine too. I won't worry about it. Beyond that, I've got another unboxing at some point whenever I get that next WWE second and last WWE Loot Crate box mailed out to me. Other than that, I'm looking into a couple different people as a potential guest. I know I haven't had a guest on here in forever. And we'll see if we can make sure we get this StreamYard, as it's called, .com, or perhaps one of the other two streaming services working better so that we can keep things going on YouTube. If anybody's got any suggestions for anything good to use for a live stream for YouTube, let me know. And beyond that, the only other thing got is hopefully that game show, as I mentioned earlier, that might happen at some point in time. Any last predictions or comments from any of you guys as it pertains to TakeOver Toronto or SummerSlam? And Mr. Awesome says, I love me some AEW, so why not? Hey, if people are really enjoying it, and I don't see why we couldn't do it. Avery Hook mentions he enjoyed the show, had issues getting on tonight with new system. Hopefully I can get that fixed. I know Dustin said he ended up having to copy and paste the link on an actual computer, it sounded like, to actually be able to get into the page. I'll take suggestions, like I said, if anybody wants to message me on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. You guys all know where I'm at by now. Give me any ideas for anything. If you want me to try anything different than this, then I will for live streaming. But yeah, other than that, well, you aren't supposed to go there, but sure. Other than that, you know what that sound means? We're almost out of time here. I thought this was going to be rather short because I knew that two people I was hoping, especially to get in here, were having issues getting in. I was happy to see that Dustin was able to make it in. If anybody wants me to try something that won't be public here and see if we can get it working for a future show or something, let me know. And with that, I'm just rambling on pretty much. We'll catch you next time, guys. Whenever and wherever that'll be. I'll keep you informed. Just keep your eyes peeled. Dadgummit.